class of group because we're going to use group hover, but then I also want to add onto this, I'm going to add relative because we are going to position the gradient. It's going to be like an overlay, and that's going to be absolute, so this will be relative. And we're going to set overflow, let's say overflow to hidden, so it doesn't leave its container. And then on medium screens, I want the width to be 1/4, so width dash 1/4, because we're going to have a column of 4 on medium screens. All right, so this is the individual item. In fact, I'll just put a comment here, say this is item 1. And when I say that, I'm talking about this. This is item 1 right here. All right, so now for the actual content, we're going to have an image, but they're separate images depending on the screen size. So the first one we're going to put here is going to be for desktops. So we're going to start it with a class of hidden because we want it hidden on small screens. We want the width to be full. We're going to have a transition on it, so we'll add a duration of 200. On medium screens, we're going to display from hidden to block. And we're going to have a group hover, and when we hover over it, we're going to scale it up a bit. So we'll set scale to, let's say, 110. So it's going to go from 100 to 110 when we hover over it. And then the image itself is going to come from images/desktop, and it's going to be image-deep earth. Okay, so that's going to be the desktop. Now I'm just going to grab this and copy it down. In fact, we can just say this is the desktop image and this is the mobile image. Now we do have to change some stuff here. For one, we need to change the image to the mobile version. And then on down here, as far as the classes go, all we need is, let's see, we're going to get rid of this, and all we need is width full. And on medium screens, it's going to be hidden. Okay, because it's only for mobile. And then let's see, we do have, actually, you know what, let's just save that, see what we get. All right, and you can see when we hover over it, we get that effect, and that's only going to be on desktops. We don't have that on smaller screens. So before we do the gradient classes and stuff, let's just add the text. So I'm going to go directly under this image here, and we'll say item text, and this is actually going to be an H5, and it's going to be absolute within this relative container. PX6, we'll do a duration of 200 because we will have a hover effect. And then let's say on medium screens, actually before we do the medium screens, let's do the width, which will be 52. Okay, so this is just the text. And we're going to position this, let's say bottom 4. But on medium screens, we want it to be bottom -8. Okay, and then let's say on medium screens, we also want padding on the x-axis to be 10. And then let's add our group hovers. So actually, I don't think we can do that with Emmet. So let's just do this, and then we'll add our group dash hover. And I want to scale the text up. So we're going to say scale 110. And then let's do another group hover. And we're going to set the text to black. All right, and then the text itself for this one will be deep earth. So let's see what we get. All right, deep earth. Don't worry about that for now. Let's make it bigger. All right, the text is black, but that's okay because we are going to add the gradient, and that's going to go right above the text. So right here, let's say item gradient. All right, and don't worry, once we do the first one, we can just copy it and just change the content and stuff. So let's see, the gradient, we actually have quite a few things to add on to this. So for one, it's going to be absolute within the item. And then we'll do from the top 0, it's basically going to cover the entire thing. So it's going to be top 0, bottom 0, right 0, and left 0, because it's going to cover everything. Then we're going to use the BG gradient class, which we haven't used in any projects yet. Actually, it's going to be gradient and then -2-B, so gradient to the bottom. So that's the direction of it. And we're going to add from -transparent, because you can add a from color, but the from is going to actually be transparent. And then it's going to go to a gray, so .2-gray 900, sorry. So it's going to go from transparent to gray 900. And then we have some group covers to add, so I'm just going to add in here group, did I say cover? Group hover. And for that, we're going to do from -gray 50. And then what was the other one? The 2. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. So it's going to be 2 white. So here, let's say group -hover, and then 2 -white. All right, and then the last group hover is going to be the opacity, and we're going to do 70. All right, so let's save that. And now let's look at this version. So you can't really notice it, but it's going from transparent at the top. So when I'm not hovering over it, it's going from transparent to the top to gray to the bottom. Now I'll just show you the difference if I get rid of this gradient, or if I comment this out. Just watch when I save. See how now it's like black, it's dark, but when I have this and save, it's a little lighter. Okay, and then of course when we hover, it's going to white, and we have opacity, so that's why it looks like this. So I mean, there's a lot of detail that goes into this, a lot of classes we just used. But I think what we should do, since we have so many items, is create some custom classes for some of this stuff. So for one, the item container, we're going to have 2 of these, because if we look at the final project here, this is one item container, the top row, and then this is one item container. So I think what we'll do is take all of these classes right here, copy those, and switch it for just a class called item container. Okay, and if I save that, you can see I can't even see the text anymore, but we can go to our input CSS, and let's create, let's say item-container, and let's